Hello.
Ah, good morning.
Got on early. There we go.
Yes, it's still night here.
I'm sorry about that. Uh, how's it going?
I'm great, Philip. I'm just so excited to see you.
Oh yeah, good to see you as well. What time is it there?
It's 7:15.
Okay, I got you. It's dark there right now.
It's still dark. Yeah, it gets
All right.
yeah, sunrise is about 7:30
Okay. Our
and then
sun our sunrise is like 7:15 or something, and like 30 minutes before that really. But yeah, and then patches up about 7:30. So I'm an early bird now. I'm a dad now, so I'm like,
oh, yeah, you know all about it.
no.
So, Philip, thank you so much, first of all, for taking the time to talk to me today. And on behalf of Pam and myself, we just so appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate y'all very much. Always appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. So yeah, anything. I'm glad it got to work out. I know I kind of been. It's just been kind of busy, so I'm glad we worked it out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're
yeah,
busy.
no problem. See
So,
that poster there to the side? Looks good there.
oh, I can assure you this is not a prop for the interview. It's there. This is my office. This is my office.
These are definitely props for sure. I'm trying to make myself look cooler.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah, so this is my office, and it's slash my husband's practice space
Nice.
slash um,
Slash
perfect.
storage room. That's what my room is. This is my room for writing and recording. Also room for Patch to play in. Also room to store any kind of other stuff that we don't want other people to see. So
That's great. Yeah. So all right. So I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you are in between of patch nap, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, or during. So my first question is, how are you? How is Hannah? How is Patch and your family at? Is everybody safe?
Yeah, we're good here, just kind of hanging around the house mostly, and just kind of doing what a lot of other people are doing, I guess, and just so it's kind of you know I do miss the road, but it's been the silver lining in it all has been seeing Patch grow up this first year. Kind of it goes by too fast, but uh, yeah, just he's just gotten so big and so much personality, and Hannah's doing really well. She's been actually she's finished up her master's. She's in psychology, and she's been working up at the hospital, working with a lot of mothers, kind of this postpartum stuff. So she's been doing a lot of that kind of stuff. She's so much smarter than me, and I'm just so proud of her. Um, and so yeah, she's doing awesome things, but also still being safe, and
Yeah.
because it's up at the hospital. But
Mhm.
yeah, just staying busy, writing a little bit and recording, a little bit from home. And I went up to Nashville once a couple of months ago
Yeah.
to try to write a little bit and record some more, and got some stuff done, and also just kind of been recording a little bit from home. It's kind of made me learn a little bit more how to do it myself, because I'm not very good at it, but I'm able to do some vocals and some guitar and send it over to Todd to make it sound even prettier.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much stuff you can do from home now. In a way, this it's been a very, very difficult year, but in a way, I'm glad it happened in 2020, where we have such, tools and technologies to kind of figure out a way to keep going and doing what we need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's I did a little thing. I think it'll be aired in later in December, or this month or something, some kind of holiday thing. But um,
Ooh.
I had my guy, who his name's Eric, who's always done my monitors mostly, recently, I guess I should say, in the past few years. But and he's out of a job, so it's kind of like,
Mm.
he came up to do that, and he's like, man, it's nice to be able to get back to work a little bit. And it's been hard on a lot of people. So I'm very blessed to be able to, you know I guess, not have to worry so much as, as some
Mhm.
other people have to, but it's still, it does, I think that's definitely went through a stage where I kind of got a little depressed and a little
Mhm.
stressed, because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, like, oh man, because I'm, you know, my basically my life is touring, so you know that's not
Yeah.
happening. It kind of freaks you out a little bit. And then you think about the other bands or artists that haven't really built up their fan base to be able to go back to. You know, it's really hard on them too. So it's
Mm.
definitely count my blessings for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has made us all really take stock, right, on what we have and what's really important, which, a lot of us do already, but in a deeper way, for
For
sure.
sure.
You started 2020 in a great way, and I don't know what got into me that I needed to go see your first show of that acoustic tour that you did
Yeah.
early this year, and it was amazing. It was with Errol Cooney, and it
Yeah.
was about a month. And as soon as that tour ended, soon after, the lockdown started
Yeah.
kind of around the world. When did you realize this might not be the year you had planned, uh, professionally and maybe also personally?
Yeah, I mean, professionally for sure. I mean, that kind of, like I said, that really got in my head a little bit. I started getting worried. Even, I didn't grow up poor or anything, but we grew up. It wasn't like we could go do anything we wanted to all the time. But so it's like, I learned from my papa, my grandfather. I called him Papa, but he just saved money all the time. So I learned how to just save money. I don't really spend money unless I absolutely need to or really, really want something. And so I talked with my business manager. I was like, "Oh man, are we okay?" And he's like, "Phillip, you're all right. You're good, man." He said, "You're good at saving and all that kind of stuff. You're not a crazy lunatic like some other people are." And like, so I appreciate it. And so like again, just being blessed with that. And but it's you worry too about the fans. I haven't released music this year. I got new management this year and a lot of changes that have happened this year. And I wanted to release some stuff this year, but just kind of things would happen. It kind of just
Mm.
it didn't happen. And but everything has a perfect timing. So I'm not too worried with that. And just been working a lot. And then personally, yeah, I mean, it kind of for me and Hannah, it's, you kind of we've been through so much already in our relationship and our lives. We've been through a whole bunch of crap, and this is like, it's been good, being again watching Patch grow up, and,
Yeah.
and this is all such a new thing for us, and it's that's been the most incredible thing is for us to be with him basically every day of his
Yeah.
life first year. Not many people get to do that, and almost like all day. um it's been pretty amazing, and also Hannah and I are also we have to have our alone time too, because sometimes you with that person that you love dearly that you'd take a bullet for, but then also you got to have you got to have a little space too, especially with what's going on this year. You got to have your own time, clear your head, and that's always been important. And so yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. And that tour was so much fun too. I'm glad we got to do that at the beginning of the year. Errol is just he actually flew in. We recorded it here in town at a theater for that holiday thing, and
Oh
it's not
my
going to be some kind of extravagant, thing, but I think it'll be cool. It was good to see him and to play to an empty seats, but it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. A couple things from what you're saying. I know that at least there was at least one event in the summer that was canceled. I get some your news alerts, and I saw there was this event that
Several things.
canceled. Yeah,
Yeah,
so, and I'm guessing there were more.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
There were for sure. Yeah, there was a lot of things planned, and um, I think there was a few like public shows that we were going to do. I think it was going to be acoustic too. I think, um, and that again, that just all just you know kind
Wait,
of disappeared with everything that happened, and then some private events were going to happen, all this kind of stuff, and so yeah, it's just kind of. But now I've started doing a few of these private virtual things, and it's
mm-hmm.
it's, it's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
I
It's all
had
right.
a little story for you. When our son was going to be born, he's 11. He just turned 11, actually, the same day as your sister. He shares
Okay.
his birthday with La Donna,
Oh, cool.
November
Just
27th.
recently.
That's right. He just turned 11. And when he was going to be born, my husband, who's also a cabinet maker, he lost his job. It was 2009. It was the recession. Just 1 week before he was born. And
Dang.
oh, this is catastrophe. I'm going on to maternity leave. He lost his job. But then, you know, same thing. We got to
Yeah.
spend a whole lot of time together with that
You
baby.
figured it out.
Yeah, and you figured it out. And in the grand scale of things, you know, that was the best thing that could ever happen, because we were
Yeah.
together for those first few months, like constantly, all of us, the three of us. So it was, you know, there's always a reason,
Exactly. Yeah. And
a way to turn things into a positive. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, I wanted to ask you, you know, I love the topic of creativity and how this works, especially with brilliant people like you. Um,
Oh, you.
One
Yeah.
of the things I think about a lot is creativity in times like this that are quite difficult and different. I'm trying to become a writer, and many times, especially the first few months, I felt that any work that I could do was not essential. I could see, you know, doctors, nurses, truck drivers, grocery store clerks. Those were the essential jobs. And my job, writing, you know, seem really not relevant. I know this is not true, but I battle with that. How do you deal with that?
Yeah. I mean, again, it was a really tough. I definitely went through the stage. It was like, why am I doing this? I kind of go through that almost every year or every time when I'm writing, really focusing in on writing music, because you write a bunch of bad songs or songs that really don't hit you, or, that are just not what you want or what you thought it was going to be. Is just like, it'll kind of just bum you out, and you don't know, almost if you're good enough, and, should I even be doing this? What else should I do? And, I went through, yeah, definitely a stage through this year that I don't even know. There's a couple of months for sure. I didn't even write a song, probably barely picked up the guitar, and you still kind of fluctuate through all that. Sometimes it'll be a week will just be like, oh man, this is great. Then the next week you just kind of back in that little, you're sad, but you don't know you're sad. You don't know why you're sad. And so, maybe you do, or maybe you don't. And there's so many other things that go on in our lives too that affect all that. And sometimes if you go through something hard, sometimes you can, if you really push through, you can find that, creative bone in your body and write it out. That's, it's kind of, I always think about, like, when I first started writing music when I was 18, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to write a song, but I just wrote down what felt good. And somewhere along the way, when you write with a bunch of other people or you get some success or whatever, and then you start overthinking it and you kind of forget, just write it, just start writing, and you can go back and fix it. And then I kind of struggle with that sometimes too. It's like, why can't I just write this down like I used to? I could just sit down and write something, by myself and be totally cool for hours if and now if I'm not writing anything within like 30 or 40 minutes, I start getting bored, or like, this sucks or whatever it is, and um, so I still struggle. I think every artist, or, doesn't have to be music, any kind of artist, like you struggle with that, because we're all kind of tortured in some parts in our lives, and we're trying to figure a way to make it right, and try to make it all clear. So yeah, I still go through it for sure. I wrote yesterday with Donovan Woods and
Yeah.
Todd Clark, and we had a great time. I was having troubles just figuring out some lines. I think I wrote a few lines in there that I really liked, and Donovan's just so talented, and Todd is obviously, he's been a big mentor for me. He's just an incredible guy, and yeah, wrote a cool song, I think.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, how is that? You already talked a little bit about writing in isolation, just by yourself, but how is that process of writing virtually?
Yeah, it's different. It's cool whenever it's with your friends, like yesterday, there's less pressure, and but when you do it with somebody you don't know, it's definitely pretty awkward. You know,
Oh,
I it's kind of, I wrote with someone earlier this year, but we're friends, but we're not that, we don't, we're friends, but we haven't really written together before. But I just sent him an idea and we worked on it through text at
oh,
first. And that was the best way for me. I was like, oh man, I could do this. This is like a lot less pressure. You know, you're not have to just sit here, you know, in silence for like 5 or 10 minutes. It's like, oh, what about this? What about this? And then we wrote a really good song over a matter of just a few days. So uh, that way worked really well for me, and I think that's how I would prefer to do it. It's just like, all right, let's start an idea through email or text. If we get somewhere we like it, then let's jump on Zoom and then finish it up. You know,
oh yeah, yeah.
it's still weird. It's not
It's
my
still weird, but you know, it's found a way. You found a way.
exactly. You find that you figure it out.
That's right. You figured it out. Yeah. So thank you for answering these more harder questions. Since this year has been so difficult in so many ways for so many people, I want to move on to talk about nice things, which is not natural for me because I like the deep, dark stuff. But for now, I wanna give the people who are listening something fun. So first, let's talk about pickleball. According to an article in the Monterey Observer, Mr. Seth Burrell, who hosts a regular tournament in Moultrie, called you, and I quote, a serious player. So what is pickleball and how do you get into playing?
Where did you find that? I haven't even seen that. That's pretty
Good
cool.
research. That's my job. I'm a researcher.
Oh, right. Geez, I haven't even seen that. Let's send me that one. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, so we just kind of, you know, we went through. Sorry, I don't know if you hear the blower going on right now, so that's why I have it muted. Sometimes you
Those
hear it.
people, yeah, no worries.
No, I hate it. But yeah, so I started playing pickleball like a little over a year ago. A little over a year. Is it super loud?
No worries. No worries.
Gosh, I hate it. I'm sorry. Um, and then I just fell in love with it. I've always been a competitive guy, and I love, you know, I played baseball when I was a kid, and um, man, come on, dude. Uh, Beautiful thing of words there.
Yeah, I can tell you. I feel your pain. I don't like them either.
Blow in the same spot for about 5 minutes.
I know.
But yeah, and then I picked up this. A friend of mine invited me, and I just really fell in love with it. I haven't really done any sports since, you know, right at high school, and so I just really fell in love with it. And it was a good way for me. I hate doing cardio, and it was a great way to do cardio. And like I said, I get competitive. I get more competitive with myself than I do with other people. My wife gets on to me because I'll start yelling at myself and like, you idiot, why did you do it? And so yeah, like I said, I've been playing a little over a year, and me and some guys, we, you know, when COVID hit, we didn't play for like a couple of months, or if we did play, it was just like one-on-one, you know, and now like everybody kind of gets tested, you know,
All right. Before.
clear. So we're all keeping it pretty safe. And again, we all know each other pretty well. And if somebody is sick, then they stay home or they just stay away from the whole crew. And
Yeah. Good.
yeah, it's just such a fun sport. It's like the fastest growing sport in the U.S. right now.
That's right. I read that.
Yeah, I'm addicted to it.
Tennis. What's the?
Yeah, it's like a mix between ping pong and tennis, and I'm addicted to it pretty bad. And then I got into photography. I've always loved photography. I love looking at amazing photos from photographers, but I've always liked taking photos, trying to make them look younger, but I never really studied it and really learned about it until right when COVID hit. And I just fell in love with it too. So Hannah's she kind of hates that I have so many hobbies now.
Oh, come on, you cannot have too many hobbies.
I know, that's what I tell her. She just likes to read and like be smart all the time. And I was like, you gotta get some hobbies. Like you can't be that smart all the time and like beautifuls, but I guess you can.
I can. You know what? I can argue with that because I do like to read as well.
She could just, we went to breakfast this morning, off me, her, and Patch, and this old man walked in and sat at his table by himself and just was reading a book. She said, "That's goals." I was like, "Dang, you just go
Yeah,
ahead and go
well,
sit by yourself."
and you know what? I am gonna bad news for for Hannah. It's gonna get harder and harder. To do that, you're gonna have to kind of sneak, whatever train time. I used to commute by train. Now I'm working from home before COVID. And, my reading time just went down because that was the only time I had for myself that I could sit for a period of time and I could read a book. Yeah, it's not, it's,
Yeah, see, I get so bored with reading. Like, unless I'm in it really, if I sit down and read, I'll read. But once I stop, like to go use the bathroom or get a drink of water, like, all right, I'm done. But
yeah.
she can read, and she read a
Oh,
whole book in like a matter of a few hours on a we
oh,
we actually I did a thing for LeBron James Foundation a couple of months ago, and they
yeah.
uh, flew us in and out the same. We left at like 5 and we got back home before 11. But she
Wow.
started the book. We got on the plane and she
Oh,
finished it right before we landed.
man.
Holy crap! How can you read that
Yeah,
much?
no,
It's incredible.
that's yeah. No, I'm not on that level. No, no.
Yeah, she just loves it. I can't do it. And Patch, we read to him every night and during the day for naps, and he loves. But this morning he crawled back into his room and started getting the books out and reading them. I was like, I hope you like reading because I can't get into it. I like podcasts.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, the important thing is have the books. He'll find them.
Yeah,
Give the kids the books and they will make their way to them. That's
yeah,
the way. Yeah, we have so much talk here because I do love my books. And I there's an element of guilt for me. Like, I can't do what Hannah does because there's an element of guilt. I should be making dinner. I should be doing all kinds of stuff,
I think you
meeting
go through that.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, that, and I think that's particular for women. So yeah. So anyway, but you mentioned photography, and that was my second question about nice things. You started photography this year, right? So how did you start? How did you get into? And for the photography nerds, what camera are you using? What kind of things do you like to photograph? You did some amazing night photos, which are pretty hard to do. It was
yeah.
impressive.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so I just had when I started off earlier this year. As a camera I've had for several years since like we started when I started recording behind the lights. So I've had it for a long time, but I never, again, like I said, I just never really. It was kind of the last thing on my radar to really sit down and learn because it was
Mm.
about music then, um, and so then I picked it up. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go try and take some photos. Let's see what happens. I just love it. I just have always loved it, and like, and so I did. I kind of got into it, and so I started taking a few photos, and I went up to Nashville, took some photos, and I'm just trying to learn it all. Still learning it all. I think you can. It's kind of like with music. You can never stop learning, and so I'm trying to experiment with everything. I really love the landscape photography style stuff, but we're in South Georgia. There's not really any beautiful landscapes here except for farm fields, which can be amazing photos during
Come
the right
on,
time of
that's
year.
gorgeous.
Um, but just kind of into the whole, just studying it all, trying to learn like the flat lay stuff, the portraits, all kind of, learning about lighting. But now I got a EOS R with a 24 to 70 millimeter lens, RF lens, and that thing is just sweet. And again, I just like, I took some photos from my brother-in-law. He's been kind enough. He owns a tree company. He cuts down trees,
Yeah.
and I said, hey man, he said, could you take some photos? I was like, I can't promise you it's going to be any good, but I'll give it a shot. And and I took some for him, and it turned out really cool, I thought. And then I'll kind of take some for him from time to time, and he's been really cool about letting me do all that, and some really cool shots have come about it, and I'm just learning all the angles and all these kind of. I took a photo of him when he was going up in the crane, and the rope kind of went out of swirl, so it kind of makes this cool line up, and just it's super fun. And those night shots, those were really fun. That was really the first time I've ever done it. It was me and my brother-in-law and a friend that went out one night, and yeah, we just kind of, I got, I think I got like 5 or 6 photos I was really proud of.
Those are
Yeah,
good. Those were good.
I have too many hobbies. Start talking too much, get bored.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. We're all nerds here. I swear. I mean, no, not at all. Not at all. I love it. I think photography is so hard, and I am not a photographer. We just have a good camera, and because I want to do a million jobs, I have a million hobbies too. I try to photograph your concerts, and it's a nightmare because it's so incredibly difficult. Like a photo,
Yeah,
a
I've
concert
actually
photo.
watched videos on people trying like that take concert photography photos, and it is kind of hard. I've never done it, so I would have to see. But it's all learning that ISO, the aperture, and shutter speed. You
That's
know,
right.
and once you get those, and I feel like I'm getting pretty good with it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
starting to get nerdy.
You should bring the cam. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna bring the camera on tour because that's gonna
Oh,
give you
absolutely.
ample opportunity to
I'm
practice.
starting to kick myself now. It's like I've been to all these amazing places, and I never took the proper photos, and now I'm just like kicking myself. I'm like
It's
such an
never
idiot.
too late. You know, you have the eye. You do have the eye because I remember some of your Instagram photos at the very beginning were so amazing. There was this photo you took of a highway that was empty that reminded us of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
You do have the eye, Philip. So yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, no, but because it's the eye and also the manipulation of this thing is hard. It's so hard. I can't do anything outside. I can grab a pencil and write. That's all I can do.
Yeah,
Um,
you can't even read my handwriting if that's like.
yeah, we're all getting bad at handwriting. Actually, I think around the world. So I don't want to keep you too long, but I have a couple more questions. So this year you turned 30. You celebrated your fifth wedding anniversary with Hannah, and also celebrated your son Pat's first birthday. Can we talk a little bit about some of these amazing life milestones?
Yeah,
All
to
in
turn 30.
2020, right?
Yeah, like yeah, all in 2020. It's yeah, turned 30, officially old, got some gray hairs in my beard now, and so I'm starting to feel the age of 30. And patch is one. That's just been that's been the most insane thing, just how fast a year goes by when you have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
How much they learn in that first year is just mind blowing. And he's just a funny, sweet little boy. I love him so much, and his mom has been amazing. She's just a rock star, and uh, and yeah, I mean, it's been a hard year again. Like, even when I was gone on tour that beginning of the year for that like month, and I wasn't able to see them. That was really hard. We talk obviously with FaceTime and talk every day a lot, but it's different when you can't see the person. So, people that are in the military or, I don't know. I couldn't do it. So I have even so much more respect for them, especially if they have kids, and a wife back at home or a husband. And,
Yeah, the sacrifice.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
it makes your relationship different, and you have to, when you have a kid, your relationship changes between you and your wife, between
Oh,
you and everyone else too. And,
mm-hmm.
so it's a lot to figure out. And, but I think we're getting, I think we're, it's every day is a learning curve. You have to, every day is something new with him, and, um, in 5 years with Hannah, we wanted to go somewhere. We talked about, hey, let's just try to go somewhere. Then with COVID, it's kind of made it hard, and
Yeah.
and I think we just chilled out on our on our anniversary. What we did the year before, we don't do anything too crazy with that kind of stuff, and it's just try to show each other love, and just listen, and just that's our favorite thing to do, is just sit on the couch or chairs and watch some Grey's Anatomy. That's about it. We're pretty boring.
But you do have a very exciting professional life. So I try
Yeah,
to look
yeah,
at
that
it
it kind of
like that.
makes up
Yeah.
for it. So
Yeah.
I'm super boring in real life, though.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people will disagree. But uh, what I wanted to ask you, were you planning when you were gonna go on tour? Were you gonna bring Patch and Hannah with you? Because Hannah usually goes with you.
If we were going to do one during the summer
Like
or something,
this year.
oh yeah, for sure. I think we'd figured out a way for both of them to be out, and see how it went, because that would have just been too much to miss, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we figure it out some kind of way. So hopefully next year, I mean, all you can do is pray and hope that, that things start to get back to normal a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I definitely miss playing shows. I mean, it definitely seems awkward. I've seen some artists that have been playing them, and it seems, I don't know. It just seems a little weird. It's not going to be the same, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, well, I do have a final question for you. And of course, we are already talking about it. Um, you know, any plans about music, touring? Do you have any completed songs? What you have been writing about? Anything that you can give us that we can look forward to in 2021 if we are able to kind of go back to normal life a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we're going to be releasing some music next year for sure. We got some songs I'm really, really proud of, and I'm really happy about. Still trying to write some more. Um, because I spent so much time. So then you have songs like, oh, these are great, and then you start writing more, and it's like, oh, I got to beat these other ones, And but it's kind of, some songs I kind of always took to Bill Withers. Like sometimes he would write songs that weren't about him. So sometimes for me, that's how, or at least for a few of these songs that I've been writing, that I didn't think they were about me, and then a couple of months later down the road, I'm like, oh wait, that is about me. I didn't even realize I was writing about me, and so there's songs like that I, when I'm listening to them, I see music video ideas. You kind of see what you want to do, and um, I'm yeah, it's just it's about how hard, there's some songs about how hard love is, and how hard you really want to fight for it, and other songs that are, kind of asking the question of you know, what is what's the thing that keeps us together? Not even just saying like in a marriage. I'm talking about just a relationship with, someone else. Like what, is it real or is it not? And um, it's a lot of questions. This year I think a lot of people in the world have had a lot of questions. And I've had a lot of questions about everything that's happened in my life, and I think that comes out through music, and there's other songs just love, they're just about love. You gotta give the people love.
That's right.
I'm a romantic at heart, so try to be.
The classic, in the true 19th century romantic, and I am too, and that's why I think I love your music. There's a yeah, I think so. Musically, just before musically, what's the is there a range? Is there you always so eclectic? You always give us a little bit of everything, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's kind of, I'm not sure how to. I have so much trouble explaining how music sounds for me, and I think that's sometimes that gets me in trouble. But also, that's just a part of me too. I've just been inspired by so many different styles of music, but it kind of has gone in a little bit of an '80s thing. Not hard, but just in a cool, still Phillip way. But
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. I'm really excited about it, and Todd Clark, who's been producing this stuff, he's just been killing it, and he's so talented, and um, even songs that we've written that I kind of put thrown on the back burner. I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. He'll kind of do something to it, change it up. If I play the guitar part one way, then he's like, oh, what about he plays it a different way? And I'm like, oh man, that makes a world of difference. It's pretty incredible what just a few things like that will make a difference in a song. It hits you in a totally different way. Um, so yeah, we're still working away. I don't, I think you got to keep writing, always write. And still going to keep doing it no matter what. But yeah, release music next year, trying to figure out that whole next step. My manager, his name's Adam Harrison. He's been killing it. He's awesome. And the funny thing is I haven't even met him yet, but he's my new manager. We just
Oh
talked.
well.
Oh, thanks to COVID. So I haven't met him. He seems like an incredible guy. He's been doing a lot of great things for me, and that next step is just kind of figuring out, how to get it out there. So we're still talking about that, and so yeah,
Oh,
figuring it all.
Sounds good. Sounds so good. Sounds
Yeah,
amazing. Well, anyway, I just want to thank you again, Philip, from the bottom of my heart, and also on behalf of Pam, and also the fans who are going to be so happy to see you and know what you've been up to this year. Merry Christmas,
yeah,
Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a safe one. I have one final request.
yeah,
Can you give a little message to Matthias, my son, who defends you every single time I dare to mention any other band that I love? It's impossible. I can't love anybody else. I can
yeah.
only love you. So
Well, happy
yeah,
birthday to your son. First
thank
off,
you.
it's 11. It's was he going to be in sixth grade?
He is in sixth grade. Yeah.
I remember that was such a crazy time for me. 11 and 12 years old. Um, enjoy it, man. Enjoy being a kid. Uh, Middle school, is he? I guess is he in school?
He's
Is
in
it?
school. We managed to keep schools open here. We
Okay,
managed.
yeah.
Amazing.
Same here. School's hard. It was hard for me, anyways. Maybe it's not for you. Um, but just focus. You don't know. I don't really know what else to tell you. But have fun. Be a kid. Don't try to grow up too fast, because life goes by too fast already. So, love your mom. Treat her well. Respect your dad, and be good. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Philip.
Yeah,
I
I
really appreciate
appreciate
it.
you and Pam. Y'all are amazing. Always appreciate y'all's help and support, and all the fans out there. I just love you too. And I know I'm kind of a quiet guy on social media sometimes. Sometimes I'll go several days with posting, and sometimes I'll go a week or so without posting. So I don't know. That's just kind of the honest factor, I guess, you get with me. But
It's
I'm a
healthy.
pretty
You
reserved, kind of quiet guy, and then sometimes I'll post. I'm trying to figure it out. It's what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm okay.
keep it healthy. You know what? Honest. Yeah, that's the best way, and I think that's why we love you. Is there's honesty and like yeah.
Oh yeah, I was drinking out of mine
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, oh yeah.
Chocolate
Any,
coming up there in the little cabin. I was like, oh, there we go.
there you go. It's awesome. It keeps it warm for a long time. So it's really useful.
Awesome.
Philip, thank you so much.
You
We
have a
love
good
you.
Christmas too.
Thank you so much. Thank
All
you for
right, you
your
have a good
time.
one.
Have a good weekend. Bye bye.